Booming barking and factory fumes. Heavy industries are usually located downwind of the capital city. And for 100 years or so, they gathered in ever greater numbers around Barking Creek. Asphalt producers, paint and chemical works, fertilizer and asbestos factories, iron foundries and rubber works. Barking Power Station became the biggest of its type in the world. Beckton Gas Works supplied gas for street lamps and houses, shops and factories over a huge area. Barking boomed into a thriving industrial town. But with that success came very strong smells as thick black and yellow smoke belched out from the factory chimneys into the air. Raw materials were brought into Barking on the River Thames, and finished products were conveniently shipped out the same way. There were railways and roads leading to London, and Barking Creek flowed through the heart of town. Homes, small businesses and local shops were demolished to make way for these industries, and, as they were, Barking Creek's water became ever more polluted. Soon, it was cut off from the town itself. Out of sight, maybe, but certainly not out of mind. Its horrible smell making certain of that. Let's look more closely at some of the different factories in Barking. William Warren's rubber factory, which closed in 2002, produced a wide range of goods, from hoses that allowed jet fighters to refuel mid-flight, to tyres, to rubber bands of all shapes, colours and sizes. Warren's factory took over the site of Barking's jute works. Jute is used to make rope and sacking, huge quantities of which were needed in London's expanding docks. Jute was also used to make ships, cables, post sacks and ordinary household string. The Barking Jute Works had 1,600 workers in 1881, almost a quarter of Barking's population at the time. Because the skills of weaving jutes were unfamiliar to Barking people, large numbers of workers came down from Dundee in Scotland. Most of the workers were young women and children, giving Barking an unusually strong female workforce for the time. With 207 looms clattering away, the factory was unpleasantly hot and very noisy. Whale oil was used to soften the jute, and this gave the factory the strongest smell, along with smoke from frequent fires that broke out. Over the coming years, business boomed in Barking. Lots of different factories opened up along the riverside throughout the 19th and 20th century. And each factory produced its own unique smells. Factories made ginger beer, soap, pickles and matches. All made in Barking.